When you were a little kid, did you have movies that you could watch over and over again and never get bored? I did, and almost all of them were comedies that starred one particular actor, Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey has had an incredible impact on my life due to his hilarious acting and his inspiring yet tragic true story. Now let me go into more detail. Let's first go over who Jim Carrey is. If you don't already know, he is a Canadian actor who is best known for his comedy movies. These movies include Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and The Cable Guy, as well as many others. His comedic style is incredibly unique and impressive. As Encyclopedia Britannica brilliantly stated, Jim Carrey had a comic appeal that was mainly visual, and he was technically brilliant mimic, boasting more than 100 characterizations. This is what makes him stand out from other comedians. His exaggerated facial expressions are what drive his comedic approach, and they never fail to leave me laughing out loud. He even has been nominated for several Emmy Awards. Now let's move to his past. Jim Carrey's story is both tragic and inspiring. He grew up in Toronto, Canada as an only child. He never made any real friends as a child and instead befriended his own mirror. According to Stacy Reed of Nikki Swift in her article Jim Carrey's Tragic Real Life Story, Jim Carrey claims to have spent hours making faces at himself in the mirror. Later on, his family even became homeless for a while and lived in a van. During this time, he developed depression, which he still deals with today. After much hard work on his comedy routine, he finally booked a stand-up spot on a talk show, and his career skyrocketed from there. During the peak of his fame, though, he went through many breakups with different co-stars and even had his heart broken, which he tried to mend through art. For some of his movies, he would lose himself in his role and need a lot of time to recover and even discover who he is again. And now for his impact on my life. Jim Carrey and his movies have never failed to put me in a good mood. Ever since I could remember, Jim Carrey has been my favorite actor, and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective has been my favorite movie. This movie, as well as the others mentioned previously, are adored by my whole family, who I almost always watch them with. We all sit around the living room laughing hysterically at him and his facial expressions. Jim Carrey's acting has also helped me through some hard times in my life. Anytime I am feeling down on myself, I know that a Jim Carrey movie is something that will put me in a better mood. Even now, I struggle with anxiety, and watching his movies really help me to relax and bring me to a comfortable place. Now let's review what we've discussed. First, we went over who Jim Carrey actually was and what he has achieved. After that, we discussed his tragic yet inspiring story of him going from homeless to an incredibly successful actor. And finally, I revealed what a huge impact Jim Carrey and his acting has had on my life. All of this information could be useful to you if you are a fan of comedy. His style and approach are impressively unique and need to be observed at least once by people who love to laugh. If you are indeed a fan of comedy, I encourage you to check out one of his movies and see if you think he is worthy of all of this praise.